That's right, folks. You are listening to Fanatics and the Fan. My name is Hawk. Keith, you and I have been doing this a while.
A little bit.
We always have fun.
Yes, we do.
But Visioncon Branson 2015. Come on, really?
Why don't you just use the words that I keep repeating, which is this is Geek Christmas. This is what it is. So
and I think I've said it once on the air, and I'll say it again. I don't have a problem with saying it again. I'm proud of them. I truly am. You and I have been with them through the dark years. You and I have been with them through everything. I am proud of them.
This is pretty exciting. I have to say it's all kinds of fun every year. I was like, "What? Are you bragging? I can't say that I'm impressed because I was impressed last year."
In other words, you can't keep saying that.
I can't keep saying that. So,
well, what you can say for me, because I'm too excited to say it.
Yes.
Please do the honor of introducing our guest.
Alaina Huffman, who is all kinds of crazy cool. Actress who, I gotta say, on behalf of everybody that has enjoyed your work, wow.
Awesome. That's our new word. Awesome and fantastic.
But we keep repeating it because you
all weekend long. Awesome and fantastic.
I love it.
It's
awesomely fantastic.
You are surrounded by so many fans of Supernatural, so many fans of Smallville. I mean, you keep getting asked about that. Now, Smallville was what, about 7-8 years ago for you now?
9? No. Really? No. Like 5.
5?
5? Yeah, 5.
Smallville to me was the beginning of the era that we're in now. If it wasn't for Smallville, we wouldn't have what we have.
The superhero pop culture.
The greatness of it.
Yeah.
Because it all is good.
Yes.
I mean, they've had some slips, but no falls. I mean, we talked about it in last week's podcast about how great we're getting with Arrow and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and so on and so forth.
Yes.
But I believe that actually started with Smallville.
Yes, it did.
And we even recently had a discussion about your character versus the character we have now, and nothing against the producers and what they have now, but the vote is in that you were better.
As the Black Canary?
As the Black Canary.
You know, I have to say it's really interesting because I get a lot of comparison, and while it's natural to compare, there are different takes on the character, and so I don't actually watch Arrow. I haven't seen it. I'm sure it's great. I'm sure Katie Cassidy's amazing, and I think that the thing is we're both representing the same character just in a different way.
Completely.
I'm just happy that Smallville really brought the Black Canary to the forefront of pop culture, because before that she's a big character in the DC universe and she's this huge iconic character, but she wasn't a pop culture character, and now she's really this awesome, and she should be. She's an awesome character. She's well-rounded, she's intelligent, she's got this like lovesick relationship with the Green Arrow where she's got his back, but then it's so tumultuous, and it's a great story. So I'm really happy the story's being told.
So now I really don't know how long you've been doing the convention thing, but I got to ask this because I told you he was going to ask the intelligent questions, and I'm just going to be here being funny. So, and I've asked this of other actresses I've met. Shortly after you played Black Canary, when did you see your first variation of somebody cosplaying you, and how did it turn out? And you can say it was bad. We don't mind.
I mean, the Black Canary costume is like, it's fairly risque, so it's hard to do it right.
You can't tell me you didn't see one. I know you have.
I've seen a lot. Oh, yeah, no, I've seen a lot. I mean, you go to San Diego and there's a lot of fishnets and booty. You're like, what's that character? Oh, there's a whole lot of ass. That's the Black Canary.
Well, how many times did you get a chance to go to San Diego?
I've done San Diego a few times now. 3 maybe? 3 or 4.
How crazy is that?
Okay, so when I first did Smallville, I came on season 7. I really was new to the DC universe, new to the whole comic book world, and I didn't quite understand the fandom that came along with it.
In other words, geeks can be kind of scary.
It's a little interesting. I like to say I've earned my geek cred.
Yes,
I've done a lot of work in the genre world. Following the Black Canary in Smallville, I did Stargate. And so to walk into another huge franchise that has this massive international, geek chic following.
Knowing what I know about Stargate, them are angry fans too. So you took a risk coming into that.
Can I just thank you for saying that?
I mean, we know, and we're straightforward. We know the Stargate fans
are with that. Because it was a really light. I mean, I know Universe wasn't, which is why people hated us.
No.
There was a.
I don't think people hated you guys.
Geeks will call you out.
They used to protest us outside of the studio.
Geeks will call you out on everything.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you had a bullseye because you were the face.
Right.
Versus the people who were actually at fault, who were inside hiding behind their desks.
But
they had a huge following.
But I have to address that too.
Mm-hmm.
I want the fans to know, like, we appreciate and love the support. But with Stargate, for example, there was so much love and support for the franchise of Stargate, the actors of Stargate. And almost no respect and no fandom for the writers who brought them their favorite show for 15 years. I just don't understand that.
Yeah.
I don't understand how you don't support those people that made your favorite show. That really.
It was from as we say all the time. I'm just a fan, so I have a fan insight. We had no clue where you guys were going with that, and that's what caused a lot of distrust. It was not.
This is more you going out on a limb.
Yeah,
I know what I liked about the show. I tuned in every week. I loved it because I didn't know where you guys were going.
Right.
And
I liked what I made up in my head. I was hoping for it to go in certain areas, and I liked what was. I had a lot of high hopes, and
well, for me personally, I didn't. For what Stargate was able to put together, I was hoping Stargate as a franchise wouldn't fall into some of the same holes that Star Trek had. So you guys seemed to be going your own way with what you were doing. And that's really what made it exciting for me. It's like, this is new, this is expansive, this is big. And when it came to Universe, here's something all new. You guys took a whole new spin on everything. So it's like, that's exciting.
Right.
I don't know about the whole hate thing. You obviously
geeks don't like change.
Experienced something that I didn't see amongst my friends.
Well, no, and so there was an element of love that we got, but it was like people who had never watched Stargate before.
Yeah,
we're like, oh, I love Universe. It's such a great show. So yeah, people have come around. Unfortunately, it was too late. But I really want to address this because it's been years and years and years and years that people are like, we didn't like it because it was dark. No, y'all didn't like it when we announced it. Y'all didn't like it 9 months before it aired. Y'all just didn't like it.
Yep.
It really had nothing to do with the show because once you started watching the show, y'all liked it.
You didn't. They didn't understand. Is how I look at it, because I actually did like it. I liked the premise. If you have too many mistakes, small mistakes, then it'll turn into one big one. And they nitpicked. And this is geek fans. They will nitpick everything.
Right.
And my thing was, this was brand new. Y'all could have done whatever you wanted, and they should have been okay with it. Let them. I felt like they didn't let them get to the point they were trying to go to.
Yes, exactly.
And
you have to build chemistry, and you have to build backstories, and yes, there's flaws. There's flaws in, the shows that I love. I watch, and I'm like, oh, that was unfortunate. Why did they do that? Because I really wanted this different for the character.
Right.
It is sometimes hard to let back and go and just watch.
And enjoy or learn.
Yeah, well, right. I'm sure a lot of fans had a problem with Star Trek The Next Generation.
Yes.
In comparison to the classic Trek.
They did a huge problem.
So to me, I learned long ago.
And Next Gen, didn't it run longer than?
Oh, it ran longer.
Yeah,
right. It still has a following, and I got it. And this is probably the worst segue ever, but if you look at those fans versus the fans of Supernatural,
yes,
and how fanatical they can be,
and loving,
yes,
and that leads me to my question: do they love you or hate you?
No, it's so loving because so I started this by saying, I entered my geekdom really with Painkiller Jane was the first show I did on Sci-Fi,
yes,
which was a comic book, and then the character on Smallville, and then Stargate, and then I go and I do this show Supernatural, and I'm like,
it's a little itty bitty thing,
this little show. I didn't even know it was still on the air because if I'm to graphically write for a show, I've read for it 1,000 times. I know the producers, they know me, and I get this email like, "Oh, you have an audition for Supernatural," and I'm like, "What? Season 8? Wow, the show's still on." And so I go in, and it's this amazing character. And she's the bad guy. So I'm like, they're going to hate me. Oh, no. Rotten Tomatoes.
She's the bad guy. I mean, she was the bad guy for that season.
Yeah,
There was which is how
she
they
wasn't
created
supposed to be, though.
No.
She was just supposed to be a one character, one off, one episode. And, that's something magical that happens when you sort of, you're able to create a character, and then all the stars align, and there's this beautiful sort of chemistry that's created, and that's the exciting part. That's when you're like, you lose it. You're in the moment. You create this character, and I think they could have done more with her. But again, it goes to.
They move quick, and
but it's a business. They've got other characters in line.
So when
they're writing for, that they're paying, and
so when you get a script and it reads that you're going to start the show with no hands, how do you approach that? How do you prepare for? Yeah, I'm going to be on screen. I'm going to have no hands, blood coming from everywhere, and I'm still going to be a badass.
Yeah, she's just such a great character because she was like, no apologies, like she gives no you-know-whats, and I loved that about her. In certain ways she was very shallow and one-dimensional because she's not human.
Right.
She doesn't have human qualities, she doesn't have emotions, which I tried to find moments when we have the Josie and Abaddon storyline in Mother's Little Helper.
Right.
That's really the only time, other than the entry into the show, where we see both characters. So I tried to give. It was great. It was a great episode. It was my backstory, which I was really grateful to have. Misha Collins directed it, and talk about like the beauty of the business. So Misha directed this episode. It was his first television show directing for Supernatural. He's done a lot of his own stuff, but to see the whole family get behind somebody, it's so beautiful. I mean, it's really something that you're grateful to be a part of when something like that happens. And I saw that on Smallville, and I saw that on Stargate, where people are allowed to sort of expand and explore artistic and creative endeavors and be supported by this beautiful family that we've created.
Right.
So when you walk onto a show after 8 years or 9 years, you're walking into this established family, which I've done with all of these shows. Okay. Which again, why it was kind of hurtful to walk onto Stargate and not get that support. We got it from the crew, we got it from the producers, we got it from the network, we got it from the studio. We didn't get it from the fans, and that was hurtful, to be honest with you.
I'm sorry to hear that, because I feel bad, because it seemed like fans like me, we weren't heard. Fans that were really digging.
You're absolutely right, because there was a lot of that.
Yeah.
It's just that I think the negative outpowered the positive, and anyways, it is what it is. You can't control it. But going back to Supernatural, when you're able to develop and create a character like Abaddon, like I said, I was trying to find those moments with Josie to give some more human qualities, because I wanted her to be liked.
Yeah. Right.
It's fun to like the bad guy, but there's nowhere to go with it.
Yeah.
It's very shallow, which is you look at Crowley's evolution. I heard that too. There's some background noise. You look at Crowley's evolution, and they did give him a lot of human qualities, because otherwise there's no connective.
Right.
It's very one-dimensional as a character.
It's very shallow, and there's not a lot of layers, and so I get why they didn't go further with the character. That being said, I feel like there was a lot of really great opportunities to go further.
To me, she was very underused, but there's some questions I gotta ask you, just because we know so much about your world from our side.
Right.
And I know I've heard quite a few stories about Misha, which we love that he's directing now and he's doing things. But I also know some stories about the Double J Boys. And that being said, were you ever around during any of their tormenting of Misha by any chance?
During that episode?
I know that they've played a lot of practical jokes on
Well,
Misha.
that one in particular.
Right.
I remember talking to Jared about it a few days before, and poor Misha, he hi. He was like, Jared was like, we're really torn because we really want to support him and be respectful, but at the same time we want to have fun, and so they got him like a waterproof case for his iPad and for his phone, and I think